Hi everybody, it's Doug. Welcome to yet another board game channel and yet another turn of Eldritch Horror, doing battle with Shub-Niggurath. Third turn. We're doing all right. Nothing has really hammered us yet. We do have a rumor we have to deal with that is going to eat away at our expedition encounter deck, and if that ends up eating it all, we lose. So, an extra way to lose. Wonderful. I think we're going to do a lot of attempted clue gathering, or clue trading, depending on who you are, this turn, we need clues for that rumor, and also for our mystery, which we are halfway to doing, our first one. Just gotta, get those clues and get onto Eldritch tokens. So we'll get right to it. Kate Winthrop is still our lead investigator, so we will be starting with her. Alright, Kate is going to be doing a little bit of traveling. So for her first action, she's going to move over to the pyramids, and then she's going to get some free movement over on the Egypt sideboard. Here she comes from the pyramids. She gets to move along the local path for free once a turn. And when she is on that space with Luke Robinson, she is going to take a couple of clues from him, which means she is good to either work on that rumor or the mystery. Rumor first. That is all for Kate's actions. Now, Wilson Richards. Wilson is just going to head off to clue territory. So he's going to move once to Rome, and for his second action, he is just going to get himself a focus. He likes focus. He gets to roll 2 dice for them. All right, on to Lola Hayes. Lola is going to do much of the same thing as Wilson. She's going to move one onto the space that actually has a clue, and she is also going to pick up a focus in hopes that it will make it easier for her to nab that clue. So that leaves us with Luke Robinson and his actions. Alright, first Luke is going to use the free movement along any number of interconnected local paths without using up an action to get himself over to Alexandria. For his first proper action, he's going to move to the Sahara Desert. And for his second action, we're going to have him rest so he gets back that 1 sanity that he spent back on the first turn. All right, that is actions done. Time for some encounters. Okay, Kate has to have herself an encounter in Cairo. It's her first time with this deck, so let's give her a shuffle. And hope it's not too challenging, as she is still cursed. Cairo. At the Groppies, you hoped to charm your fellow diners with your tales. Test influence. Her influence is just 2. She does have a focus. We're not going to use the clues because we want those to fix things, but nope. 4 and a 3. We'll go ahead and spend her focus. She can always pick some up later. And nope. So it's not too bad. If you pass, if you fail, the staff find you boorish and serve you spoiled food. Gain 1 illness condition. Jeez. Very sensitive bunch. Let me just find the illnesses. Where have I got them? Just give me a second. Alright, there they are. It's a first time. Let's go ahead and shuffle them. All right, what kind of illness does she get? Diseased. Wonderful. When you perform a rest action, roll 1 die. On a 5 or 6, discard this card. On a reckoning, which we are absolutely going to be getting this turn, test strength -1. If you fail, flip the card. Yeah, that does not bode well. We'll see what happens. All right, it's now Wilson's turn. Okay, Wilson is in Rome. The Purgatory Museum is free, but you can agree to be a patron. You may gain an agreement condition to gain 1 boon condition. Agreement condition. I just want to see what those look like. Local action test. No, it's kind of like a debt. Somebody might come on a reckoning to ask for, asking us to pay up. I think no, we won't do it. We'll leave it be. We'll just do the rest of it. You ask about the secret exhibits. Influence -1. His influence is 3. He's going to get to roll 2 normal dice, and yes, he has got himself a 6. If you pass, focus. Sorry, well, not focused. There we go. If you pass, gain 1 relic unique asset. If you fail, we don't care. 1 relic unique asset. All right, so here are all the unique asset items and trinkets. It's our first time there, so let's give it a little shuffle. We're going to pull it from the back until we find something that is a relic. Wooden puppet. It's also an ally. Ally, there we go. Magical relic. Once per round, you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test. However, on the reckoning, that is guaranteed to come this turn. The puppet acts on its own. Flip this card. Oh. Hopefully it's a nice, creepy, animated puppet. Not counting on it, though. All right, over to Lola. All right, Lola is going to try to get herself another clue. She was successful last time. As he lied dying, the bleeding priest begs you to guard the sword. He tells you, Brother Tristram and his order will stop at nothing. If you make a solemn vow, he will give you his ancient blade. You may gain a dark pact condition. No, thank you. To gain this clue and the sword of Saint Jerome artifact. No, it's too early in the game to be going after dark pacts. If we were much later on and things were getting close, I might, but right now, no dark pacts. Thank you very much. Alright, that is it for Lola. Finally, we will see what Luke can get done. Okay, Luke is also going to try for another clue. He is on a wilderness space. See, come on, focus. There you go. The last person to ask about cults died out here. When you reach the spot indicated by the police, you find his remains. Gain this clue, then spawn a dark young monster on your space and encounter it. Ugh. If you defeat the monster, gain 1 additional clue. Yuck. Well, you get that one anyway. And now a dark young, which is why they had us put some of these aside. a Dark Young is going to spawn, and he's going to have to meet it right away. Yeah, he is not, repeat, not going to take this out. Well, we'll do the horror check first. Sorry, for some reason nothing wants to focus. There we go. Alright, horror check is going to be his will -1. And we're trying to prevent 3 sanity damage. Well, he's going to roll 3. I just want to see. Or 3 health. I don't think I'm going to use the focus on this. I'll use it on the actual combat part because his health is much lower. Although 3. Alright, well, here we are. Takes 3 sanity damage from this thing springing out at him. Now he's going to have to do the actual fight. Need to do 5. It's literally impossible for him to do 5. So it is going to be strength -3, which means he's going to roll 1 die. Ugh. That was not good. Okay, we're going to spend his 1 focus to try to mitigate the damage. No, didn't work. He's going to take 3 health damage, putting him down to 1. That's exceedingly bad. Let me just check personal stories. No, it's only if Lola goes down to 1 health or 1 sanity, she fails, but it's not... Okay, if it happens to somebody else, it doesn't matter so much. Okay, that was most unfortunate for Luke. We were doing well last couple of turns. Alright, well that is that. Now we will have to continue all the wonderful things happening as we move into the next Mythos phase. Okay, things are now going to start to get complicated. Because, yes, well, at least it's got snowflakes, so this is going to be easy. The rest of this, not so much. So, first thing we're going to do is advance the Omen track. Moves on to the red. We don't actually have any gates for it to advance Doom. But yeah, here's the terrible part. We're going to be doing Reckonings. So, first thing that happens is, I believe it's monsters first. And yes, we now have this Dark Young. Roll 1 die. On a 1 or a 2, advance Doom by 1. Well, as Doom has not advanced yet, we're okay. We did roll the 1 though. So Doom is going to tick down to 12. Next up will be, I think, probably Shub-Niggurath herself. Spawn 1 monster on a random space. Then, if there are 10 or more monsters on the game board, advance Doom by 2. Now, this will just give us... We only have 3 with this. 1 in Egypt and 1... Well, technically in Egypt, because this one's at the pyramids. Alright, actually, let's choose the random space first. So it's going to be at... It's going to be in Arkham. And Arkham gets settled with a Dole. It's another fierce one. It has a reckoning effect. Fortunately, we're past the monster reckonings. Move this monster 1 space towards the nearest investigator. Then each investigator on this space or an adjacent space loses a health and a sanity. Yep, the badness is starting. Alright, next up, any Mythos cards. Well, we have good news and bad news on that. Good news, Driven to Bankruptcy goes away. Discard this card and place the top 4 cards of the asset deck in the reserve. So we can do shopping again and maybe get some stuff to help us. So what do we get? We have the Urban Guide, Ally. If you are on a city space, investigators on your space roll 1 additional die when resolving tests, except when doing otherworld encounters, because you're not technically in that city anymore. So that would be a good thing. More dice. Bullwhip, it's a 1. Wilson might be able to grab this. Gain +1 strength during combat encounters, and you may reroll 1 die during a strength test in a combat encounter. Third is, it's another 1, Divination. Service, when you gain this card, look at the top 3 gates of the gate stack. Put any number of them on the bottom of the gate stack, and the rest on top in any order. Then discard this card. Okay. Get a little bit of gate control, and the last asset we can try to get is an Expedition Guide. Ally, when you spend a focus to reroll a die when resolving an observation or strength test, you may reroll up to 2 dice instead. And now the bad news one. Search the Expedition encounter deck for each card corresponding to the active expedition and return those cards to the game box. Then, yes, if it's empty, we lose the game. So that means we are going to have to get rid of any San Francisco cards. We'll cut away for a minute while I search for those. Okay, there they are. There's only 2 for the city locations. And we'll give this another shuffle because we did go through the whole thing and we saw. So it's going to shuffle upside down so we don't see where the expedition moves to next. It now moves to the Himalayas. So this is now there. It's not bad. We can actually reach the Himalayas. Might take a couple of turns though, at which point I think it will have moved on. All right. Well, that is that part. Now we will have to do conditions and items. Okay, starting with Kate. Well, she's got a chance of getting rid of her curse anyway. We'll roll a die, and on a 4, 5, or 6, we will get rid of her curse. 5. Yay! Something went right there. Let's put that back with the boons, or banes rather. Okay, Kate is no longer cursed. Yes. Which is good because now we have to test for her diseased. We're going to test her strength -1, which means she's only going to roll 1 die. And if we fail, we're going to flip the card. Okay, good. If she'd been cursed, that would have been bad. But her diseased condition does not flip. Next is Wilson Richards, who, picked up this creepy little wooden puppet, which is now going to act on its own. So let's see what horrors await. The puppet stays in constant contact with your thoughts. Okay. Eventually, it encounters a dark intelligence that tries to break your connection. Going to do will -1. His will is 3. So he's going to get to roll 2 dice. And okay, nailed it. 2 6s. If you pass, you maintain control and drive your rival away from the puppet. Choose 1 monster on any space. Move the chosen monster 1 space away from you. If you fail, Okay, we didn't fail. Then flip this card, and the wooden puppet is back, helping us. Okay, so we have to choose a monster and move it away. Let me think for a moment. Okay, I was thinking maybe Poltergeist to get it off the pyramids, but to move one away, I think it's going to have to go to the heart of Africa, so it'll interfere with that space, which could be useful for expeditions later on. So instead, we're going to take the dole and push it onto generic city space number 5. That way, if we want to visit Arkham and have encounters there, we can. A generic city space, yeah, whatever. Alright, so next Reckoning effect, move on to Lola Hayes. Oh, okay. If you're on a city space, her funding condition, and she is, you may flip this card. Well, let's do it. Let's see what we get. Mysterious auction. Through a series of odd encounters, you have earned an invitation to a most curious auction. Strange relics from ancient times and places are being sold off to the highest bidder. Just one of those curios could be of great use to your cause. Gain 1 artifact, then discard this card. Okay. We'll take an artifact. Back under deals, and the artifact deck. There we are. So, is this our first? I think this is our first artifact, so I'm going to shuffle the deck. Oh, if I could just grab it. I think, yeah, nobody has any artifacts. This is our first one. All right. Let's shuffle this first time, and Lola picks up the Silver Key. Once per round, you may spend 1 less clue to pay for an effect. You may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test during an otherworld encounter. That's not bad. Having to spend less clues is good. Oh, that means, yeah, she could, yeah, with only a single clue on her, she could try to deal with the rumor or the mystery. She wouldn't have to try again to pick up that clue. She could just get there quicker. All right. See how that turns out. So, Luke has nothing with a Reckoning effect on it, so that is done. Which means we are now going to spawn a gate. And this will be is this the second or third Egypt one? Anyhow, it spawns in the Nile River. So put that over on the sideboard and see what critter awaits us. We got Avian Thrall. Not an easy one. Not as hard as the Dark Young, but if you lose sanity from the will test, gain a corruption condition, and on a reckoning, move this monster to the nearest investigator, who then encounters the monster. Ugh. Okay. The Nile is not a good place to be. So, yeah, that's it for that part. Now the actual text of the card. You have seen the masked figure for days now, always hidden away in a large crowd. It seems closer to you each time you encounter it. You know it is monstrous, but you feel compelled to speak to it. Phantom of Truth. Event. The lead investigator may advance Doom by 2 to gain a Promise of Power condition. Ooh. I need reminding of what promise of power conditions are like. Well, looking it up, promises of power are, in fact, pretty darn powerful. You can discard it to reroll all dice on a particular test, and they have potential to activate. You have to roll a 6 during a reckoning, and to flip them, and you always get something really, really good. Apparently it does things like solve rumors, boom, just like that, or mysteries, or clear, yeah, just get rid of gates. So I think, okay, our doom hasn't gone down much yet. And I know, yes, you're all screaming, don't do it, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to look for, there we are, a promise of power. You may discard the card to reroll any number of dice when resolving a test, or, yes, roll 1 die. On a 6, your patience has finally been rewarded. Flip this card. So yeah, she's going to take it. And yeah, hopefully we can get it to activate sooner rather than later. Hope that wasn't a crazy thing to do. But I guess we'll find out in future. That wraps up this turn. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos on YouTube and Board Game Geek. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time for yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. So long.